Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is currently 12:11 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at a severe thunderstorm capable of producing golf ball-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour in downtown Hays, Kansas. If you're included in this severe thunderstorm warning, make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately, as this storm is going to be capable of producing damaging winds, and again, some large to very large hail. It already has multiple reports of half-dollar-sized hail, but again, potentially up to golf ball-sized hail is occurring with this storm as it approaches downtown Hays here. We're probably going to see some big-time hail reports, okay? So again, if you're included in either of these severe thunderstorm warnings, make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately, all right? The main areas that we are concerned about include Hays, Victoria, Catherine. We're talking about areas off to, we are talking about areas along Interstate 70 here, areas like Walker being impacted by this. So we'll have to watch this storm pretty closely. We also have another storm that we're kind of watching out here in northeast Texas, as it currently does have a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. But I think they're going to drop this. But even if they do drop this severe thunderstorm warning or let it expire or whatever, we've still got a massive cluster of flash flood warnings because of this storm's heavy rainfall amounts across parts of northeast Texas and northwest Louisiana. All right, some of the cities that we have under a flash flood warning right now include Shreveport, Longview, all the way back out towards Tyler. So if you're in any of these flash flood warnings, stay alive, don't drive, turn around, don't drown. Don't drive in flooded roadways. Man, I'm off my game today. Normally I know exactly what I'm going to say whenever I start the stream, but this time I'm just kind of, it's a on-the-go thing, alright? I'm making it up as I go along. But anyway, seriously though, we do have a pretty big risk for some severe weather today across parts of east central Oklahoma. Alright, now it's going to be later into the nighttime hours that we're talking about east central Oklahoma, and we'll be live for that, alright? But this morning and this afternoon, we have been watching areas across parts of Kansas and Texas both, and we still are here, as, again, this storm up here in Kansas is actually pretty concerning. The severe thunderstorm warning for the south side of the storm has expired, but again, downtown Hays, you are still included in a severe thunderstorm warning for golf ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's a considerable one, alright? People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. This storm will be near Hays at around 12:15 p.m. Central, and you know what? That is in 1 minute, okay? So this storm is already on top of Hays here, so again, if you're in Hays, you need to make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately, as fast as possible, because this is going to be a pretty big-time hailstorm for areas along Interstate 70 here in central Kansas, right? So again, we're watching that storm. We're watching our Texas storm, but I don't think the Texas storm is going to continue its severe thunderstorm warning, as the storm has kind of moved outside of the polygon there, and they have not reissued it ahead of time. So I'm thinking they're going to drop this severe thunderstorm warning. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I just pulled up chat here. If anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below, because it is a very large area that we're talking about for severe weather today. We are talking about a slight risk extending all the way from Canada back into Mississippi here, okay? So very large area that has the threat for some severe thunderstorms today. By the way, they did just let our severe thunderstorm warning in Texas expire. So at this point, we're really just watching our Hays storm out here. Once again, near Hays, Kansas, we have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing golf ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. This is moving off to the east at 30 miles per hour. Let's kind of take a look at this here. What exact direction is this moving? Okay, so they did actually just condense that severe thunderstorm warning. It still does include downtown Hays, but it no longer includes areas like Ellis or Yosemite, okay? So now we're just concerned about areas like Hays, Catherine, Victoria, and Walker for this severe thunderstorm. Just subscribe, thank you. What's going on in Houston today? Not much, honestly. Houston is in the general thunderstorm risk, but I'm not expecting any severe weather for the Houston area today. I think most of it's going to stay off to the north of you in portions of northeast Texas. If Texas does get any more severe weather today, areas like the DFW Metroplex off towards Tyler could have that threat for some severe thunderstorms today, as we've been seeing already this morning. But anyway, again, we do have a severe thunderstorm currently impacting Hays, Kansas here. If you're just now tuning in, so if you're in Hays, Catherine, Victoria, Walker, make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately. Just subscribe, thank you. I think I already read that message. I don't know. I may have read it twice. So anyway, this is a live look from Burlington. You can see it's very overcast out there, as we do have storms in the vicinity. Actually, most of them are staying out towards central Kansas, I guess, but they're going to be sweeping into eastern Kansas over the next several hours here as we continue to watch them. How about Omaha? Omaha does have a threat for some severe thunderstorms today. All right, they are in the slight risk, but I think for the most part, actually, a lot of it is going to stay. Kind of what's going to happen is we're going to have a line of storms to the north of Omaha, and then we're also going to have a cluster of storms to the south of Omaha. I do think Omaha will get in on the line on the north side, but I don't think it'll be as intense as it could be in some spots to the north of Omaha, if that makes sense. So I think Omaha does have a chance for some severe thunderstorms today, but I think, again, the greater risk stems towards areas to the north of Omaha and to the south of Omaha over the next several hours here. And as we go into this evening. Really shocked that they upgraded this area to the enhanced risk, given the fact we have ingredients for damaging winds. Yeah, it's because a lot of the models actually are painting the picture now that we're going to have a bow echo line of storms here to sweep through parts of southeast Oklahoma. So the Storm Prediction Center has added a last-minute update to their outlook. They've given us the enhanced risk here because if we take a look at the NAM even, I'm not even a big fan, sorry, I meant the HRRR. I'm not even a big fan of the HRRR, but we'll take a look at the NAM next. But the HRRR, all right, we can see this potent line of storms, man. I mean, just look at all that hail potential, that wind potential. Going in between, areas in between Oklahoma City and Tulsa here is where the main threat's going to be. But I do think downtown Oklahoma City could get a few severe storms. I think Tulsa's probably going to miss out on it, but areas just to the south of Tulsa may see some stuff, so we'll look out for that. But anyway, we can really see it take on this bow echo shape across portions of east central Oklahoma at around 11 p.m. tonight. And then it kind of continues, all right, through midnight and then 1 and 2 a.m. But we can't really see it here with the newest run of the HRRR because it's not finished yet. And we have a tornado warning now. Where in the world is that? That is in Minnesota. We have a tornado warning in Minnesota. Okay, that was extremely unexpected. We have a tornado warning now for portions of northwest Minnesota, Norman and Polk counties. At 12:18 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Hadler, 38 miles north of Fargo, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Source radar indicated rotation. So I guess we are on a tornado warning now. So I was gonna talk about the event coming up today, but I think now that we have a tornado warning, it's probably better to just focus on this. Yes, the enhanced risk does have Oklahoma City in it. But yeah, we do have a tornado warning now for fertile areas around fertile. You need to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a building, away from windows, and in an interior room here. If you're in a mobile home, you gotta evacuate. The rotation's weak, though. I mean, it's not anything crazy. Right now, it'd be located right over Hadler here. I'm kind of surprised they decided to go ahead and tornado warn this, honestly. Yeah, it definitely was really unexpected here. Yeah, it's not very often we get this in a general thunderstorm risk area. I really thought we would have to wait until this evening to see any of our tornado warnings pop off, but we already have one out here in northwestern Minnesota once again. Wow. So again, if you're in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately. Our first tornado warning of the day here. We have about 4,300 people included in this tornado warning. It includes areas along Highway 2 and Highway 59, both of which being major highways. Let's see here. Again, this is for portions of northeastern Norman County and south central Polk County and northwestern Minnesota here. So again, if you're in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately. Yeah, there's barely any rotation with it. I'm really surprised they issued this warning. I think it's more of a precautionary measure here. I think a land spout we may have a little bit better of a chance of a land spout, and that may be why they are issuing this warning here. Heard it's getting up to 102 in San Antonio. That would not surprise me. San Antonio has a heat advisory today. It could even get higher than 102. If we take a look at our heat advisory alerts. There we go. Oh wait, San Antonio does not have the heat advisory, but areas to the north of it does, and areas to the south of it has, areas to the south of it has excessive heat warnings up. So, again, if you're just not tuning in, we are covering live tornado warning, and we're covering a live tornado warning here in northwest Minnesota. This is for portions of Polk and Norman counties here. If you're in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of the building in an interior room and away from windows. If you're in a mobile home, evacuate and find a more substantial shelter. If you can't do that, lie flat in a ditch. Again, the tornado risk with this storm is pretty low, honestly. I'd kind of be shocked if we actually got a tornado out of this, but they've went ahead and issued the warning, surprisingly, so take that seriously and take shelter. Respect the polygon, as they say. So right now your rotation would be located pretty much right on top of, it's kind of in between Ada and Hadler right now. The temperature in Las Vegas, it's just hot. It's in the hundreds. I'll just say that much. Yeah, I mean, I guess there was enough rotation for them to issue a precautionary warning here. I was just about to go through the forecast for the day. I really thought this would be a short stream, but apparently we're doing tornado warning coverage now. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we have a tornado warning for portions of south central Polk County and northeastern Norman County and northwest Minnesota here for areas like Ada, Lockhart, Fertile, Sundal, Winger, Maple Bay, and Mentor. Seek shelter immediately. It's 93 in Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, it may not get up into the hundreds until this afternoon, but it will happen. Well, later this afternoon. I'm going to be honest with you guys. At this point, I'm really not seeing much rotation at all with this storm. This might be one of the weakest rotations I've ever seen get a tornado warning for. So again, if you're in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately. Locations impacted include Ada, Fertile, Winger, Mentor, Maple Bay, Beltrami, and Lockhart. So right now we have 1 tornado warning, 1 severe thunderstorm warning, 5 flash flood warnings, and 5 special weather statements for strong thunderstorms anyway across the United States here. I don't want to ignore our folks out in Kansas, but again, our main focus has to be the tornado warning, obviously, but the storm out in Ellis County is still pretty dangerous, and again, if you're in this area, you should be indoors and away from windows. We've gotten multiple reports now out of haze of quarter-sized hail as of 8 minutes ago. So again, here's your rotation off to the east of Hadler, the weakest rotation I've ever seen get a tornado warning for, I'm pretty sure. Is the tornado risk conditional for today? I mean, I don't know if I would say it's conditional. What I think of whenever I hear the word conditional is high floor, high ceiling, low floor. This is kind of a lower ceiling but a higher floor, if that makes sense. If that makes any sense at all. Like, we are kind of guaranteed to get some things out of this event, but we're probably not going to see anything too crazy. Where in conditional risks, it's more like, okay, we're either getting nothing or we're getting the outbreak of the century, right? So I'd say this one is more set in stone of what we're going to see here. I think we're probably going to get a couple of storms that get tornado warned. We may even get an actual tornado. But I'd almost guarantee that stuff. But I don't think at all that we're going to get anything crazy. It's the weather for Mineral Wells, Texas. Mineral Wells is in the marginal risk. That's in the DFW Metroplex. You may have some storms roll through that area. I do think most of it's going to stay out to the east of you, but I wouldn't be surprised if we were to get a little supercell try to develop in that area. So you'll have to watch out for a couple of storms today, potentially. But outside of that, I mean, it's just hot and muggy. We've got dew points. Oh my gosh, the heat index is 105 degrees in central Texas. At 12:30, the heat index is 105.3 degrees in central Texas. That is insane. Look at that. Look at all that. We're in the pinks. Guys, we're at the beginning of June. It's not supposed to be this hot. Again, that's in central Texas. It's not even like that's in far southern Texas. What about heat index in Houston? Right now it's about, let's see here. It's about 100 degrees right now in Houston. In terms of the heat index. So again, if you're just not joining us, this is ongoing tornado warning coverage in northwestern Minnesota. We have a tornado warning for portions of south central Polk County and northeastern Norman County and northwest Oklahoma, Minnesota. This includes areas like Fertile, Ada, Lockhart, Sundal, Winger, Maple Bay, all the way up towards Mentor. So if you're in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a building in an interior room and away from windows, obviously. If you're in a mobile home, evacuate. If you're in a car driving somewhere, you got to get off and find somewhere to take shelter in. Do not park under an overpass. Very dumb idea. There's so many stories of, people parking under an overpass during a tornado. It's just such a terrible idea because usually there's such heavy rain, a lot of people can't see you parked there, so they're just going to keep driving. And then also, obviously, if a tornado were to actually hit that overpass, it's going to collapse right on top of you. So I'm not sure why. I guess people think it's a good idea because they think they're taking shelter or something, but just a really terrible idea. It's better to just not, just keep driving than to do that, honestly. Anadarko, Oklahoma. Anadarko has the slight risk. So the thing with this is, I think most of it's going to stay off to the east of Anadarko. Honestly, I'm a little surprised they have the slight risk going this far to the west in Oklahoma. I don't know. I think maybe you get some storms. I think the severe threat overall, though, is low for the Anadarko area. Let's just take a look at the NAM and kind of confirm that. Actually, let's take a look at the HRRR. Why not? Yeah, the HRRR is not showing anything for the Anadarko area. At best, a light rain shower. It's really showing most of the activity staying off the parts of central and southeastern Oklahoma. Well, east central Oklahoma. In that tornado warning, there's not much people. There's about 4,300 people in that tornado warning. So I'd say it's a little populated. I'm shocked that they're even deciding to keep this tornado warning. I just don't see any rotation at this point at all. I'd say at best it's weak and broad. This would be your area of rotation now, I guess, that this is warned for. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, no problem. I'm very surprised they're deciding to keep this tornado warning. I'm surprised they even issued it in the first place, though.
I can answer this.
Okay. All right, we are back. Sorry about that. We are finally back now. Again, we still do have our tornado warning in effect here for northwestern Minnesota, and we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Russell County, Kansas, an extension. We have another severe thunderstorm warning now, actually. Brand new. It's also in northwest Minnesota. This is for Thief River Falls.
All right.
Sorry, forgot to mute myself. Thief River Falls and Grygla. So, if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. This is for Eries Long Highway 59. And again, we still do have our tornado warning. And the rotation has not gotten any more impressive. I mean, it's there, but it's so weak. We have a special weather statement now for our storm on the southern side of it. 40-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-sized hail for our storm in Kansas on the south side. Again, if you're in Russell, half-dollar-sized hail is incoming, so if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. We've had several reports of quarter to half-dollar-sized hail with this storm here, so we'll watch it. But, again, this is really the only thing keeping us live right now is this tornado warning. This is really just going to be a brief severe weather forecast for you guys, and maybe a little bit of coverage on the ongoing severe warnings, but we've got this unexpected tornado warning in northwest Minnesota, and again, we got this next storm with the tornado possible tag, and it may even get a tornado warning, because honestly, at this point, this one's rotation is more impressive than the one that's actually tornado warned. So we'll see what happens with this. Is this expected to be elevated or surface-based? These, it'll depend. I don't know which storms you're talking about, but these ones are kind of more surface-based, I believe. Yeah, pretty surface-based. I don't know. It would depend on what you consider to be surface-based. So anyway. Am I going to be live later today? Yes. Yep, we will be live for the Oklahoma storms later today. Probably one more time as well in between now and then, if I had to guess. 1 or 2 more times, actually. I know a lot of people just do one big live stream, one big 10-hour live stream. I just don't have that in me. I could probably do it if it was like I was doing it for a job, but especially whenever I'm doing this stuff every day. I know a lot of YouTubers only do it for the big severe weather events, but I mean, today's actually going to be a pretty decent scale one. Again, we were talking about a enhanced risk, that being a 3 out of 5 on the scale for portions of eastern Oklahoma today. Yeah, Ryan Hall, he goes live for more than 10 hours sometimes. The only reason I know, he said this before, the only reason he doesn't go live for longer than 12 hours for any event is because YouTube deletes the stream automatically after it's over 12 hours long for some reason. Just insane thinking about going live for more than 12 hours straight. Yeah, he does like 5 to 10 hour streams. Usually they're longer than 5 hours. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we are covering a tornado warning in northwestern Minnesota here. This is for portions of south central Polk County and north central Norman counties in northwestern Minnesota. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a building, away from windows, and in an interior room. Hello. Again, at this point, I'd say that the storm up here near Thief River Falls is honestly more concerning than the other one in Minnesota. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, tornado possible. The rotation's not anything crazy, but the fact that it's producing, quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are kind of concerning. It's a severe thunderstorm. Our tornado warning here expires in 13 minutes. They may remove it before it expires, but I don't know, man. the whole time it's been relatively insignificant rotation. It's not doing much at all. Do you think that you should chase the Oklahoma storms while you're visiting? I mean, that's up to you, but like the storms tonight, they're going to be like really late at night. I mean, we're talking 11 p.m. onwards, so it's going to be dark out. It's going to be really hard to chase, pretty dangerous. And I mean, really, if you wanted to chase an Oklahoma storm, there are just so many other better days to do it. But I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you're only visiting there, then you do you. Go for it. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning. So they're kind of really popping off now. This one's in Kansas, Rush and Ellis counties. It's for the south side of the storm, so now this side of the storm is also severe thunderstorm warning here. It's two different National Weather Service offices, so that's why they issued all these weird polygons here. Like, there's 3 polygons for one storm. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. This does include Otis. We have another new mesoscale. I showed the one while I was muted, but we have another one now as of a couple of minutes ago. This is for portions of east central Texas and west central Louisiana. It's two different National Weather Service offices. So I muted myself. Why did it? Okay. Thunderstorm intensification on a localized basis will continue over the next 1 to 3 hours. Marginally severe hail and localized damaging winds gusts possible for areas like Lufkin, Natchitoches, back over towards Alexandria. 20% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch being issued for that area between now and 1:45 p.m. Yeah, I mean, I think what happens is whenever I start screen sharing, it automatically turns my volume up all the way because I turned it off. You don't like driving in the dark? Yeah, you probably shouldn't go for tonight's storms then. Any new tornado warnings? Nope, just the one. This is the only one we've had so far today. And it's looking like they're going to let it go through its entire lifespan here. Yep, hurricane season has started, but there's not too much tropical activity right now at all, actually. We're off to a relatively slow start for what we were expecting to be a pretty insane hurricane season. And, I mean, I still think it's going to be a very above average. I'm just saying it's off to a slow start, for sure. But, I mean, it's early June. Usually we don't get too much in early June or before then. Usually we have to wait till August, September to really start seeing, like, hurricane landfalls. Or even just hurricane development, really. We see some in July usually, but I don't know. Is Nacogdoches the oldest city in Texas? I did not know that. By the way, we have a new outlook for tomorrow from the SPC. Originally, we only had one marginal risk for tomorrow for parts of the Ohio Valley, but they have added another one for portions of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Probably that's mainly for the leftover storms that we're going to have today, so probably the morning and afternoon time hours is where our severe threat's going to lie for parts of the southern United States tomorrow. They have also added a tornado risk up here in the Ohio Valley. Originally, it was just wind-driven, but we'd have a tornado risk now for areas of Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Then a damaging wind threat exists there, too, and even a large hail threat now. So we'll see what happens over there. It should be interesting to watch. As of right now, we don't have any risk for Thursday, but as of yesterday, we didn't have any risk for Wednesday, but now we do. So, with this big of a general thunderstorm risk, I can almost, I don't want to, I say I can almost guarantee you too often. I can't guarantee you, but there's a good chance we get a marginal risk somewhere in there, over the next couple of days. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, for the same storm here. So, Hoisington, $half sized hail possible. So, if you're in that area, make sure that you're moving indoors and away from windows immediately. seems to be quite a bit of agreement with what's going on with this storm between the two National Weather Service offices. Wichita and Dodge City are both painting. Oh, I guess these are both Wichita. Okay. Well, Dodge City's actually saying quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, while Wichita's saying a little bit less on the wind fact, or the wind threat, and the hail threat's a little bit higher. Is Fort Wayne going to get a little? I mean, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. Are you in the marginal risk tomorrow? You are. Maybe. I'm not expecting anything too crazy, but maybe an isolated strong to severe storm for that area. I think the tornado threat is low for your area for sure. Looks like the Storm Prediction Center has the tornado threat mostly lying across parts of central Ohio, but again, also just a sliver of west central Pennsylvania and portions of far east central Indiana there. So. I like how this storm is just managing to keep its tornado warning just barely. So again, if you're in Maple Bay or, Fertile, you're good at this point. But if you're in Mentor, Tilden Junction, Doug Dale, we were asking for all you guys to stay in your safe space. Because there's, again, the slightest bit of rotation there, just barely enough to prompt a tornado warning from the National Weather Service, most likely. I personally don't think it should have gotten a tornado warning. I don't think there's any way it should have, but we have it, and they haven't removed it, so obviously they still have confidence that this could do something. Obviously, National Weather Service knows best when it comes to the weather, so. Alright. So, again, this storm is heading off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Originally it was, no, it was always heading northeast, wasn't it? Okay. So, let's kind of drag this out, actually. Let's do it. So, what did it say, 30? 40, okay. Well, let's redo that then. So, we were talking about areas like Dugdale, 3 minutes. If you're in Dugdale, you need to be in your safe spot. Terrebonne, you got about 19 minutes. Plummer, 29 minutes. St. Hilaire in 36 minutes. Hazel in 37 minutes. Thief River Falls in 46 minutes. You're already getting a storm up there in Thief River Falls. And then Mavie in about 53 minutes, and Goodridge in about 58 minutes. It may not still be tornadic by the time it approaches you, but again, right now it does have a tornado warning. And again, honestly, the rotation's starting to pick up now that the tornado warning's at the end of its lifespan here. So again, if you're in Tilden Junction, Mentor, Dugdale, all those areas should be in their tornado safe spot right now. This is going to be crossing near Highway 2 here, in between Mentor and Moorcoux. You subscribed? Thank you. But, again, that's the only storm that we're really staying live here for. Been live now. Oh, and they removed it. So, why did they remove it as soon as the rotation actually picked up? Okay, well, whatever. We're going to end off the live stream here. I do want to thank you all for tuning in. We will be back again live later tonight whenever we're covering these Oklahoma storms. But for right now, we're going to end off the stream here. So again, thank you all thank you to you all that tuned in. I'm sorry about halfway through whenever we had to mute up for like 10 minutes, but hope you guys still enjoyed. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.